Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. Seeing how your week's going. Obviously, this is video, man, which means I have a special guest, and this week, one of my great friends in life and in comedy and in the universe is going to be taping a stand-up special just outside of Nashville, Tennessee in September. The 8th, September 8th at the Cavern. Please welcome the one and only Dean Delray to the podcast.
Fuck that guy. He ain't funny.
Yeah.
Fucking guy ain't funny. Fucking Bill brings him out. This guy ain't funny.
Why do you always think that people think that you've been fucking murdering
I know.
in front of me like
I'm imitating one comment in the thing, on the YouTube.
There's always going to be that.
Of course.
You know what? I was actually
funny.
I was talking about critics the other day, and I was saying how if somebody like takes the piss out of your act or whatever, as a critic, but if you look at their reviews and they don't like anything, it doesn't really hold. It's like you don't like anything. Like I really feel like critics every once in a while should just give it up to something, so you know that they actually do like something. Remember that there's a way that somebody can perform that they actually like approve of. I don't know. The whole thing is weird, but I try to I stay away from that. And when friends of mine put out specials, I don't read the comments because I know that it's just going to be, who gives a fuck about
Well, you know what
people?
I always said? If you think a comment is going to bother me, I would have stopped fucking 100 years ago.
Well, that's also the thing, too. It's just like,
it's like, oh my God, you got me, Leo in Oklahoma.
One of my favorite analogies or whatever was Vince Neil. If there's some bullshit happened and they go, oh my God, this happened and that happened, these people saying that, and he just was just like, hey man, it comes with the gig.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm going to put myself out there as a musician. I stand up on the stage, I get all this good shit, and then the balance is this stuff happens, and right now this stuff's happening. And it was like, there was no way to refute it. Like, he wasn't fighting it. He wasn't saying that it wasn't embarrassing or whatever. It was just, was what.
Remember the David Lee Roth one? He's like, all the critics like Elvis Costello because they look like him.
Oh my God.
That was a great one. There's a guy we can relate to.
Yeah, that guy has had some amazing one-liners and like analogies and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get into my world with Dean Delray. So I met Dean years ago at the Comedy Store. I remember this is when you were fat, Dean.
Yeah.
It was funny. You used to look like an ex-cop. You just had a mustache. You were eating all the candy, and you pulled up on the bike, and you just came walking in. And you're like, "Hey, what's going on?" You just started like talking to me. I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And I was like, "Is this another one of these weird, those transient people that?" They don't so much
Hollywood
anymore.
Jesus,
who passed away.
Yeah, you'd get these guys that would come in.
That old gay guy, whatever that fucking guy, he would come through.
And then Boom Shakalaka, yeah, him. Yeah, remember he would sell stuff on the patio. I was grouped in with one of them, huh?
Yeah. I didn't know if you were like one of those guys. But those guys, I always wondered, like, once that part of Sunset died, because the foot traffic on Sunset is over.
I love that era of the Star because it was a fucking... This
was like what, 09, 2010?
Yeah, I started in 09. I met you in 2010 because I remember exactly what happened. I had been doing comedy for like 6 months, and Jay Davis was headlining a NASCAR corporate gig in Arizona for all the NASCAR people.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, hey, man, you got 20, right? I go, oh, yeah, to feature for this NASCAR thing. So we were sharing a hotel room, and...
Wait, NASCAR wasn't going to fucking shell out money for 2 rooms?
I don't know if Jay got money for 2 rooms and was like, here it is. He's not like that, but I don't know what the situation was. It's just like, I'm going to do 20 minutes. I had 8 minutes, I
get it.
But we were in the hotel room, and he goes, who's your favorite comedians? I was like, oh, man, I love, Carlin, and I'm naming the, Pryor, the guys. And I go, how about you? And he said, Bill Burr. And I was like, well, I've never heard of him. This is 2010. And he goes, oh, you got to see this video. And I guess it had just happened like a year before the Philly rant.
Oh, yeah, it was a couple of years before that.
So anyway, he shows it to me. And then the next day, I walk into the store hallway, and there you are. And I was like, oh, hey, man. So I felt like I knew you.
Yeah, that's how you came up to me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what the fuck? And then we started talking music, and you showed me your Bon Scott tattoo on your rib cage.
Yeah,
and I was like, all right, this guy's from the same neck of the woods as me. So, anyway, and ever since then, you've been doing stand-up. You've been opening for me for at least 6-7 years on the road. And now you're getting it. You're leaving the nest here. You're doing your own special. Tell me about, like, this venue that, of course, you found it because you find all the cool shit. This is like, it's literally a club that this person in Tennessee carved into the side of a mountain. It's like inverted Mount Rushmore. Is that what's going on
It's
here?
a Red Rocks underground. Not as big, of course, but it's basically this guy, he was going through some bad times in his life, and like a 3-day weekend came up, and he's like, what am I going to do? And he goes, I'm going to go check out these caverns in Tennessee outside of Nashville an hour just to release his head. So he's in one of these caverns, and he goes, hey, man, this would be a cool music venue. And they're like, what? And he talks to the owner and goes, hey, you mind if I do a music show in here? First one he does, Chris Stapleton, an unknown Chris Stapleton, does a show.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's footage of it. And you got to see it on YouTube. It's unreal. Type in Chris Stapleton, the Caverns.
Wait, so it was already a structure was already built in there.
It was a cave with kind of lights and stuff that you could tour these caves. You go down these stairs. But he looked at it as like, fuck, I could maybe do a concert in here. The stage would be there, some people, and he talked the owner into it. And then he starts doing shows. He launches a show called the Caverns Sessions on PBS. He's a big fan of Austin City Limits. He kind of mimics the format and wins 4 Emmys.
So did so the walls and the ceiling are the actual cavern, and then he built like a floor. Is there doors to walk in, or do you just sort of walk into the...
It's kind of a it's called Big Mouth Cavern. It looks like a big mouth catfish, and you walk in. I'm sure there's some kind of security doors now, and then you just go in, and then they have seats, and they built a bar and bathrooms and everything. It's been going on 12 years. And I first found it, somebody sent me, I'm a huge Black Crowes fan, they sent me Chris Robinson playing there about 6 years ago. And I was like, I thought it was a fake venue. I go, what is this? Because it looks like...
No, when I saw it, it reminded me, do you remember when the $6 Million Man fought Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Do you remember when he's running down and then there was like that thing, the hallways running and the thing was spinning?
Yeah, they got it at Universal. You go in and it feels like you're going upside down in the tram. They got that still.
Oh, wow.
It's great. But so... I thought it was fake like that, or something in like France or something. No way in America with OSHA and all the rules could you do that. But it turned out I dove down the rabbit hole and it was in America. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then somebody, a publisher or publicist, hit me up, said, hey, this guy's putting a book out. He's got a really cool venue called the Caverns. You want to interview him? I go, wait, that's that place outside of Tennessee. I absolutely want to interview him. So I have him on, and mid-interview I go, look, dude, I got to do my comedy special there. And he's like, oh, let's do it, man. I'm Todd Mayo. His name's Mayo, like on Officer and a Gentleman. Mayonnaise.
Oh, all right.
So that was it. And I... Because I was going to do it in a club, and you're like, no, man, you're fucking Dean Delray. You like the cool shit. Do it in the Caverns. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yes, definitely. Because then it kind of opens up. I mean, I don't know who's going to shoot it or whatever, but it's definitely going to be a, like, visually, it's going to look, half the fucking battle is like trying to dress up a venue where there's already been like 9, music comedy, whatever things shot at those. Because right now, like just the sheer amount of content that is coming out and the way that people like devour it and stuff. There's only so many venues. So like I'm trying to think the last time I did it seemed like every time I did a special, someone had done one that like not Royal Albert or Red Rocks, but like I remember the one I did in Atlanta. Rogan had done that. The Tabernacle. I just did one at the Moore.
Yeah.
And I know Patton had done one, and somebody else had done one up there. Was it Wanda? I can't remember. Somebody else did one.
This is the first in the Caverns.
So that's the first one, and it's very hard to find a venue. But it doesn't surprise me. Because Dean's the kind of guy, like, whatever you're into, and I mean whatever, from a bottle opener to the top-of-the-line fucking vintage guitar or car, he knows the guy. He knows where to find it. Like, when I tell the stories I have in that John Bonham Green Sparkle drum kit, like, I've been looking for it for years. I called you up, and within, like, the week, you had it. And then it was, like, in my fucking house.
I had two different ones. I go, do you want a mint one or kind of a beat-up one? And we went for the mint one. So I had actually found two.
Yeah, and it didn't end up being mint because the mount on the bass drum, it was a little strip, so it couldn't hold the weight of like, you know, I got the Bonham cymbals. It was a very embarrassing period in my drumming, where I was just like, I'm going to buy the exact same stuff John Bonham used. It was really...
Well, that's what everybody does, right? Like, you want the Randy Rhoads guitar. It's funny because Randy Rhoads came out...
Or you could take a different approach and try to make the instrument you have famous.
Yeah.
Like, Randy Rhoads wasn't going like, oh, I want the fucking, you know...
Yeah. Yeah, he had the Eddie Van Halen, you know, striped guitar. He
did.
No, I'm saying he didn't do that. He came up with his own shape. But the interesting thing about
Did Eddie and him get along?
Well, I think that the word on the street is Eddie's Fair Warning playing is a reaction to how, you know, Randy Rhoads was getting so much glory for the Blizzard of Oz and the Diary of a Madman record, because here comes Eddie with this dark record and riffs, and that's a masterpiece record, and his playing is at the highest level.
So they were pushing each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Randy died so young that like he didn't have a time to like. I wouldn't even think that the level that they were both recording and touring at the time, you'd be surprised if they ever even run into each other. Because I always heard like Eddie, I'm like fascinated with Van Halen.
Oh yeah, the best.
So I always heard like Eddie and Alex, like they never went down to the Rainbow. They were always in the studio. They would play every single day, practice every single day. And I loved when I heard that, because the dedication to it. But then I also kind of heard like the pressure of like when you're number one, like
yeah, that's
people
brutal.
don't get. Everyone wants to be number one, but to stay there.
Yeah, it's like when you become a top comic, you know, how are you going? You know, it's like you're doing arenas, and then if you back down to theaters, it's still fucking fantastic. But then people go, hey, he's not number one anymore. He's only doing 5,000 seats now. It's like, I'm trying to do 50 seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't pay attention to any of that.
No, not at all.
I'm more like into like whatever's like gonna be
fun.
Yeah. So I don't know. If you do this shit long enough, the advice I'll give you is you should be competing with the last thing that you did.
Yeah. Not what other people did.
Yeah, because that's gonna take you outside of you, and it's also possibly going to take you away from something great that you were going to do if you stayed on your path. I'm not saying you shouldn't be inspired or influenced by people, but like, you know, following like every trend, that's something you do as a young comic, and at some point you hopefully gain a maturity of like confidence in what it is that you're doing and what you're bringing to the table, and then being like, all right, this is what the fuck I'm putting out. And whatever shows up, I can live with that, because
totally.
I'm saying what I want to say. And then you just always have to understand, like, you know, that there's always going to be somebody new coming along. There's always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be somebody selling more tickets than you. Fucking this, that, whatever. And it's just like, what was it? The Greeks that said that comparison is the quickest way to unhappiness or something. I forget where the hell I saw that. It's just
I mean,
some stupid shit on
I'm
Instagram.
fucking 58. I started when I was 44. Anything I do is just incredible. You know, to me, it's like, this is incredible.
All right, everybody, look who it is. It's Helix. Helix? You know, the Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections. The Helix Plus is a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers. And the Helix Kids mattress designed for growing bodies, endorsed by child sleep experts. How the hell do you become a child sleep expert? Stop staring at him, you weirdo. So how will you know when which Helix mattress, Jesus. So how will you know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? Well, you take the Helix Sleep Quiz and find out your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a mattress than by sleeping on it and doing God knows what on it. That's why they offer a 100-night trial. Gross. And a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. Models with memory foam layers to provide optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side. Models with more of a responsive form to cradle your body. Did you have a tough day? They got you. For essential support in the stomach and back sleeping positions. Plus, enhanced cooling features for those of you embezzling money from your company and you got the night sweats. Plus, Helix mattresses all come with a 10 to 15-year warranty, depending on the model. Don't want to take my word for it? Well, fuck you, man. No. Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired magazine. It's even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors to sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. Helix is offering 25% off all mattresses ordered and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/Burr. That's helixsleep.com/Burr. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Well, you lived this amazing life. You've been you fronted a band.
Yep.
You went into comedy. You became like the podcast for AC/DC, and like I don't even know how did that came about from doing the benefit.
Yeah, the Bon Scott Bash, the head of Sony, which was AC/DC's label, came to the gig. And then, remember, originally what happened was he took me to lunch the next day and said...
Well, let me just intro this first.
Yeah.
Dean has been doing this Bon Scott tribute since way back when you lived in San Francisco 20-something years ago, right?
I've been doing it it's 42 years or something. Bon's been dead, or 40. I started it about 3 years after he died in San Francisco. So, 38 years.
Okay, and he just gets like these top level, like the few times that I've done it, I'm playing with guys from Motley Crue, Anthrax, just giants, Black Crowes, Slayer, all of this, like just incredible, rock stars playing at this thing. And so the level of like the musicianship when you guys do it, did anybody from AC/DC watch any clips from that, seeing you singing and all of that?
I don't know, because when the auditions were going down for, when Brian was out, they did audition a couple cover singers. One of the guys put out a mini documentary on YouTube about it, because you sign NDAs and you can't talk about shit for years, but he finally dropped this documentary, about him auditioning. So I had never been.
I would have gone with Jim Brewer.
Yeah.
Jim Brewer does a great Brian.
Well, this one guy, I can't do Brian. It's a weird, it's just not in my wheelhouse. I can do Ozzy, I can do Bon, but Brian is it's like razor blades. I really cannot do Brian. And I think he's one of the greatest rock singers of all time for those about to rock, Flick of the Switch, and Back in Black. His singing is mind-boggling on those records. Where It really is. It's just
I mean, he's screaming.
it's screaming, but
You know, like,
but it's not when you
like
hear.
if you changed his lyrics and just had him yelling at his wife, it would kind of sound the same.
Yeah, but you know when people imitate these guys, they do it all wrong. They're like, oh, you know, I'm a pouring thunder.
Right.
I'm pouring rain. You know, and that's just like how they sang. Bond is like basically. That's his voice. He always sounded amazing live, where other guys didn't sound good live. You hear bootlegs of Bond, the guy sounded amazing, you know? But my point is, the guy asked me to go to breakfast the next day, and really what he wanted to do was put the Bon Scott tribute on tour for 7 dates, remember? Put a bus...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we were going to wrap it in the new album cover artwork, and we were going to play 7 dates around America, you, me, and comedy and this Bond thing to promote the Power Up record. But then COVID hit, and it did not happen, you know? And then later on, he goes, yeah, I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to get the guys on the podcast, all of them. And I was like, this is insane, you know? I had to do it.
Did you interview all of them?
All of them, yeah. Remember you and I did Phil Rudd.
I sat in with Phil Rudd. That was ridiculous. Talked
Then-
drums and helicopters with him.
Yeah. And it was the only time he perked up when we're talking helicopters. Because drums, he was like, oh, it's a sonar kit. You know, like real short.
I've mentioned that a few times on podcasts. If you're going to interview somebody super famous, find out what their hobby is, and talk about that, and the fucking light comes back on. But if they have to sit there and answer the same fucking 20 questions about, you know, do you get nervous before you do shows? They're like,
that's fucking the worst. It's like when people ask me to be on their podcast, and they always go like, okay, so he is a musician, now he's a comic. I'm like, oh, I've done this, you know, like I did it on the biggest
I
podcast.
just did that.
No, but you and I play together. So that's different. I'm just talking about where people just grab like your bio and then they just read the first 2 lines from your bio.
Oh yeah. I got in that. That used to happen to me a long time. Somehow on my my Wikipedia page, somebody had put on there that at some point I was a hygienist.
Oh,
I was a hygienist, and I wasn't.
Yeah, but you worked with your dad, right?
Yeah, in the dental. I was just an assistant. I just gave him the shit, and he did the stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm a hygienist was way beyond whatever the hell I was doing. So, and I never took it down because I thought it was funny. Like, misinformation is just funny to me. So I was just like, you know, it says on your Wikipedia page, I just laugh. Yeah, it says a lot of things. It's like, you know, you can just write whatever you fucking want.
Anything. Or people can edit your Wikipedia page. Other people can get on there and put shit on.
I don't get how that works.
I don't either.
Do they? And how do they like vet the information? So how do I know what I'm reading?
Yeah, that's why.
That's the thing I don't fucking understand. Not only do I don't understand that there's no libel or slander on the internet. There's no like FCC. There's no nothing.
No rules.
There's no fucking rules.
None.
But then simultaneously, you know, if you do a joke in a comedy club, you can get in way more trouble than somebody that's in the pornography world.
Yeah.
That basically you upload this porno onto the internet. Any kid with the phone underage can watch whatever fucking horrific shit you and your chick just did, or God knows what. And like, that's it. That's more put on the parents. Like, we need to like have stricter guideline. You have to like make sure they can't go to these adult sites and blah, blah, blah. Just how crazy it is. And I just think it's because the politicians like watching the porn too.
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely.
They like, I don't know.
They're making the porn. They're making money.
I don't know. It's that aspect of it is something that you know, that's probably a good. Next time somebody gives me shit about a joke,
yeah, go after.
Like, oh, all right,
yeah.
So I'm the problem. What about what's on the internet? You can watch beheading videos on the internet.
You can watch murders on the internet.
Yeah, aren't you more upset about that than my stupid whatever fucking joke? What was it like? Yeah, Rogan just put out a special, and they're giving him shit about. It's like this guy, he's the problem. That's what the problem is.
I think if you put out a special and they don't give you shit, it didn't matter then. You know what I mean? It's like,
do you even believe that they're giving you shit, or they just fucking
they're just doing
it to get like a I don't know, who gives a shit.
Well, here's the thing. You want them to give you shit because it's like that old PMRC label. Because now people are like, well, I got to hear that record, or I got to see that special. Yeah, right.
What was PMRC again?
Parental. What was it? Parents. Yes.
It was Al Gore's wife.
Yeah, and fucking that idiot.
He didn't
from
have
the
her
Beach
in
Boys.
line. He didn't have who? Mike Love?
Yeah, he was promoting it.
I just saw a thing of him at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame talking shit about Mick Jagger.
Yeah, that fucking guy, man. It's like Brian Wilson is the Beach Boys.
No, okay, let's just say for whatever reason Mick Jagger does bug him.
Yeah.
Why would you do that there? Because all you're going to do is just look petty. And I bet Mick never responded, right?
Yeah, no. You know what? There's these people out there that when they stop being relevant, they go after other people. Instead of just going, hey, I had a great time. I sang in the Beach Boys. We had massive success. Unbelievable. Thank you. Instead, they're like, it's like people that go after like Taylor Swift. Like that's even in there.
You mean like ISIS? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, that was crazy, right?
Christ.
What the fuck?
That's
Man.
how big she is.
Turns out she has better security than other people.
I know. Oh my God.
Fuck.
Well, ISIS goes after like countries.
Yeah.
So that's how big she is.
Yeah, man. Wow. But I mean, like people.
How would you like to keep doing that tour?
Oh, fuck, right? You're in the band?
Well, she canceled those tours in Austria, and shout out to the whoever figured it out in Austria.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Thank God they did. And then, oh yeah. And the amount of like comedians they saved by not having that, because someone would have done the joke.
Oh,
yeah. And then that would have been like, too soon or whatever. That would have been a bad thing. But so one of the things that does to get outside of the comedy and the music thing, is your ability to spot things of quality. The amount of stuff that I've seen you own and then you sell it, like it's like this fucking guy is forever selling shit on eBay.
I hate it. I hate it.
But it's.
I was just talking about it on the ride over here.
Like this, you have no idea if there's anybody in the world that deserves a sold out show for his fucking Santa special. Dude, the level that you've grinded your fucking life. He sold Harley Davidsons for a while. He's fucking sold everything.
Guitars, amps, cars.
The whole thing. My favorite thing, can you tell me the fucking stories when you worked at Harley Davidson and some jerk off like me would come in and you'd be like, that guy's going to die, man. It's just fucking.
Yeah. I say.
Tell the story of the guy who fucking revved the engine.
Yeah. I say selling motorcycles is exact to selling drugs. Most people are going to die on them. But I needed the money,
Yeah, and you're just like, well, if I didn't sell the motorcycle, someone else would. Yeah, so you got to.
So, when I stopped playing music, it's the craziest story. And a matter of fact, I'm always like, is anybody seeing what the fuck I'm doing over here? As far as like the amount of craziness to where I'm at now, Like, played music, then started selling motorcycles, meet Tarantino, do a Tarantino film, then do an...
What Tarantino movie were you in?
The Hell Ride in the Grindhouse ones, the biker one. Then I do an Ice Cube film. From there I meet Earthquake and Garrett Morris. They tell me, go do comedy. I start comedy at 44, and then I end up fucking doing 6,000 fucking shows, paid regular at the store and the cellar, and I'm like, is anybody fucking seeing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's ridiculous ageism.
Oh yeah.
This,
and I had no idea because I met you and Maren, and I go, these guys are my age. Yeah, and then I didn't realize you guys were in it for 35 years.
But there was always like guys to look to, like everyone from like Rodney Dangerfield,
right.
Lewis Black, and then I always would like look at guys like Lewis Black. I can't say Chris, because Chris Rock was like, when he really, I think it was like 30 or 31. That was, I mean, now just looking back, that seems ridiculously young, but it always seemed like the guys that like really hit and hit hard. We're sort of late 30s, 40s, where, you know, hitting earlier than that that's a lot for a young person to handle, I would think. But anyway,
even when I met you, you hadn't hit yet. You were starting to, but I really remember a specific story. You and I were doing the Nashville Comedy Festival. Nate Bargatze on it also, the three of us. And in between the sets, I was boogieing over to Zany's and doing sets and then Ubering back, you know? And I remember I was in the dressing room and you go, how was Zany's? And I go, oh, man, it was great. And you didn't say anything for about a minute. You go, man, I remember I thought I was done. You know, I did Zany's. There was no tickets sold. It was all bachelorette parties. I was blowing up on them, and I go, this is it. And then here we were, like 3 years later, you're selling out that Nashville at the Ryman or whatever we're at the comedy festival. But to see that in your eyes, because you had gone back in it, and then I always use you as an inspiration because you grinded for years, like nothing. Oh, Bill, yeah. You know, it's like, yeah, clubs. You were doing clubs. People don't even realize. 5 shows, you know?
No, more than that. No, it was one Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 Friday, 3 Saturday, 1 Sunday. And
you even told me the story that was like on the Louis C.K. TV show where Louis gets replaced by Jim Florentine as the headliner. We're going by Vegas, and you go, that's where I got replaced.
Oh, yeah.
I was headlining.
At the Tropicana.
Yeah.
Trop just closed.
They're about to implode it.
Yeah.
But, you know, to hear those...
I was headlining, and then I got bumped. I remember there was a guy, Frank Del Pizzo was the host, and I can't remember. There's a guy in the middle they're both seasoned guys, and I was like this kid, you know, I forget why they gave me the gig, but I wasn't ready for it, and I didn't know how to handle it. It was an old crowd, because that casino, I can say it now because they're remodeling it. Like, that thing was a has-been when I was there in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so I was going there, and it was like literally the Paul Lynde crowd.
Yeah.
You know, they were waiting for Ruth Buzzy and like that generation. Like those were their comics. So I was coming out, and you know, I was trying to be the New York edgy comic, and you know, people came out to Vegas to have a good time, drink their little pina colada, and go play some slots. And I came out there, what the fuck is with that? And it's just, I remember, let's say the gig started on Tuesday, Thursday morning. I remember my girlfriend at the time was flying out to see me headline my first big weekend. She goes, hey, Bill, it's so-and-so. And I go, hey, what's going on? She goes, yeah, so how do you think the shows have been going so far? And it's almost like she tried to make me fire myself. Once she said that, I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So they switched it or whatever, and I was cool about it. I mean, I didn't go down and have like some... I felt bad that they were still paying me to headline, but it was just like, they were right. I mean, I wasn't doing the job. So, you know, and that's something that you kind of need to have. You can't be delusional. You can't be like fucking sitting there saying I'm doing the job when you got to know when you're not doing the job.
Absolutely. But those kind of stories, as me touring with you, really sunk in, and I took it all in. And I think because I was older, I wasn't partying, and I wasn't playing video games or getting high and shit. I was just like, I want to learn comedy. And as you were accelerating, you know, from when I first started open to where you are now, just to learn that shit, it was just amazing to be there, you know?
Well, I came up in a time where, like, you know, you had to learn how to do it. Like, there weren't all of these options that you have now, which I think are great, but like you kind of have to be careful how you use them, because when I was coming up, there was always like, you know, you'd be looking at like who was getting a deal, because back then it was who got a deal at like Montreal.
TV hold deals.
Yeah, so you'd look at like, what do they talk about? How are they dressing? You know, and you're in your 20s, so you start trying to like, okay, I guess I got to talk about my family, and I got to wear this kind of shirt. So that was always going on. But I feel lucky that I didn't have like the whole social media thing didn't happen until late in my career, because that whole thing now where you can sort of look and be like, okay, now crowd work, clip this and put it in, and I'll do that. And that's all like good stuff and self-promotion and all that type of stuff. But you got to make sure that you're not like, just sort of, I don't know what the word is. It's a very delicate thing. It's this unbelievable power that artists have that they can get directly to their fan base. But it's also like you can be putting yourself out there way too soon.
Yeah. Mattel told me that. You know?
And that shit like just stays on the internet. When I sit there and like, I am so fucking relieved.
Yeah. Yeah.
That when all my early shit is on VHS tape.
Yeah,
oh my God. I don't want that crap out there. It's terrible.
I talked to Tell at the cellar. He was there at the stairway. And then somebody was like, when are you going to put a special out, Dean? And I was like, I put a record out in 1999, a music record. And I recently listened to this record because I want to put one of my songs on the outro of the special, the credits. Mm-hmm. And I listened to this record while I was hiking, and I'm not like tooting my horn. I love this record so fucking much. I didn't really care what happened. I listened to it a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't believe. I was immediately brought back into time of how hard I worked. I learned how to play guitar on VCR. Mm-hmm. I had the Costco TV VCR, and I put it in. I got a rehearsal room, and 8 hours a day learned guitar, and I wrote this record. And then I got a record deal, and it was just like, these songs are, to me, I was like, this is incredible that I wrote these lyrics, and that's how I was looking at a special. And I remember Attell said, yeah, man, I didn't put out nothing for 15 years, Skanks for the Memories. He goes, because that shit's out there forever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, man, I want to have no cringeworthy moments. Like when I shoot my special, this is what it is. I like this stuff. I've been doing it for a few years. Here it is.
Right.
It's the best, I think. And of course, in comedy, it's different because you look back like, I was talking about fucking the election or whatever at that time. But that's what was going on. With music, it's like, well, I got dirted by this girl. Oh, yeah. That's timeless. Yeah. A breakup song is timeless, you know? But
tell me about this guy who comes into the Harley dealership. I want to make sure that people get that. The guy.
Okay. So I'm selling Harleys.
You get out of the music business, you're selling Harleys.
I get out of music business. I go, what do I love? I love Harleys. I need health care. And but
I love your first question is, what do I love?
Yeah. I love Harleys and I need health care. So my buddy's running the Van Nuys Harley. It's a small old school dealer. They don't have these anymore because Harley came in and they were like, you got to be 18 million square feet. You got to be a superstore and all that. But back in the day, Harley was sold to AMF, the bowling balls and fucking snowmobiles and shit. Harley made that shit.
Right.
And they opened these kind of old school mom and pop Harley dealers. And Van Nuys was one of the last. It was on Van Nuys Boulevard. And I will tell you this right now.
Those ceiling to floor windows in the front.
Yep. And it looked like a kind of a car dealership. You go by and really old and never been painted, is faded. The owner was really wild. And then Chris Bax, who you met, and my other buddy, Garo, we worked there. And it was some of the funniest fucking shit I've ever experienced in my life. And I work with the funniest dudes on the planet. This shit, when you're working with dudes, this guy, Doug McGuire, was our head boss. He was the wildest dude I've ever met. You come in and he'd be like, oh, Delray, yeah, right. He'd be out of his mind, right, drinking a beer in the morning. And customers would come in, and it would just be insane, man. I remember one time this guy came in, and he brought in a girl, a woman with him, and this guy was hardcore gangster, dude, hardcore. And I made the classic salesman mistake. He's all, yeah, this is Gina. And I go, oh, yeah, we met before, right? Oh
no.
Whoa. Immediate showroom, like, I I've never been. Who the fuck did you bring here? Because you're just saying that, you know what I mean? Like as a salesman.
Oh
like,
no!
nice
So
shoes,
she thought that she
that
was
he
in there
brought
with
another
guy.
woman down. Oh,
You were like, hey man, that's just some bullshit I said.
that's what I was saying, man. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Fuck. I mean, for real, dude.
Did you sell him a bike still or no?
They got out of there, and I didn't work for like a week. I was like, I'm not going down there, man. Fuck. It was gnarly. But anyway. This guy comes in one day.
I love how that's just an aside. All right, so this guy comes down.
He comes down. Harley, this particular year, has this bike that looks like Evel Knievel's. It's awesome. It's red, white, and blue. It's a Dyna. And the guy comes down, and he goes, yeah, man, I want to get a bike. And I go, okay, cool. He's looking around. He goes, I want that one, the Evel Knievel one. I go, yeah, no problem. He goes, I'll be back in an hour with the check. He comes back. He gets it. It happens to be about 2 p.m. We all would hang out in the parking lot. A couple of guys smoke cigarettes, sit out there. A food truck would always be there. The guy comes in. He gets on the bike. And you always go over the bike with him. You're like, blinker here, blinker there, starter here, 1 down, 5 up. You know, you're just going through the stuff. Don't go fast. The tires are new. So he gets on the bike, he starts it, he gets the helmet on. We're all standing there, and I go, all right, thanks a lot. I knew something was wrong when I shook his hand because it was wet, you know? I go, oh, this guy's nervous.
Oh, no.
For sure. Wet hand. And so he turns, he starts it. I go, all right, take it easy. And he starts revving it like you do a dirt bike. When you see dirt bikes racing, they're like, dun, 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 and then the gate goes down. Yeah. So he starts revving it. And before I go, no.
Yes.
I go, no. He lets the clutch out wide open. Bah! And I've never seen this in my life. The Harley leaves the ground. He flies off. It leaves the ground like a fucking bucking bronco. I've never seen a Harley leave the ground. It goes off the ground. It hits and starts coming at us. Like a ghost
riding, yeah.
Ghost riding. And the two guys are like, there's this one guy, he worked in sale parts. He was just smoking a cigarette. He dives out of the way. It plows over 4 bikes, smashes into the bench.
Oh, God.
He immediately has an insurance claim.
Is he on his back? Where
He's
is he?
laying there. And I never forgot what he said. Oh, my God. He goes, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's what he's saying, laying on his back. And all of us ran inside.
Oh, shit.
Laughing. Like, oh, my God. We knew he wasn't hurt.
And you didn't give a fuck about the other bikes?
Oh, no, because his now he's got an insurance claim on 5 bikes. His and the 4 he ran over. Just fucking plowed them all. And we're like, dude.
I almost said, oh, no.
Dude, we were laughing so.
He said, oh, no, for every bike he hit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he did. He was like, oh, no.
That's like that Will Forte character. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Remember he did that thing? Oh, my God.
So then he fucking gets up. His girlfriend drives him home. And like a month later.
Wait, where is his girlfriend? She drove down to get him?
Yeah, she drove him to drop him off to get the bike, you know, like a drop off. And she's standing there. And we're like, oh, wow. And we're giving him the old, don't worry, dude, it's okay. But inside we're like, what the fuck?
All right, so then does he walk back through the store?
He just gets in the car and he leaves. And we move the bike.
He didn't look at any of you guys?
Nope. We move the bike to service. The tank is destroyed. The taillights are broke. The shifter's bent. And dude.
I would think the frame would be bent if it leapt off the ground.
No, he got lucky because it went like this and then it bounced and then it just started going. But for weeks, all of us would come into work. Oh, no. Oh, no. Fast forward a month later, this woman comes down and she's all, hey, I'm here to pick up Steve's bike. And we're like, what? Where's Steve? Oh, yeah, he had to work or some bullshit, and she rode it out of there.
No way.
Yeah, dude. She rode it out of there. Oh, my God, dude.
That is the most emasculating story. Like, the second time you told me that story,
Yeah.
I get embarrassed.
Oh my God.
For some reason, when I hear that story, I'm living that guy's. I'm not the guy on the bench laughing at him,
Yeah.
or you going, no,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
him on the bike.
I was there, right up until I started comedy and I was still working there. I had the greatest fucking bosses. I get goosebumps right now because these guys I worked with, they were the greatest. My boss went to a show at the Comedy Store and he goes, look, man, you are fucking funny as shit. You're going to get somewhere. I'm going to lay you off. I don't want to. You're my best salesman, but I want you to go for it, and I got to lay a guy off because we're slow right now. Get
Good
unemployment.
set. You're fired.
Yeah, I know, but he was like, get unemployment, fucking do comedy.
Oh, you got unemployment.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because he had to lay somebody off to say, and he goes, it's going to kill me because I was the best salesman they'd ever had. I was doing, at one point.
What made you such a good salesman?
You know what it was? It's like comedy. I love comedy so much that I love motorcycles. I could just get the enthusiasm comes off of like, dude, you're going to love this fucking bike, man. Because I absolutely love the bikes. Like when you rode a couple weeks ago, I was like, you don't understand. I kept telling you what it's like to be on one of these badass bikes. Like I've rode to Sturgis many times, and when you're just out riding these bikes, it's just like, I don't give a
Dude,
fuck.
Sturgis is the most intimidating thing. Not the ride out there. It's
Yeah.
like once I get there and there's all these outlaw fucking guys, I just like, what?
No, but it's all different, man. They got families, they got outlaws, they got the wannabe Sam Crow dudes, they got the,
I feel like it's going to prison. I'm a member of the wannabes.
you're over here in the corner. No, but it's not like that, man. It's really, it's one of the coolest things I've ever done. But I think what's cooler than...
How many day ride is Sturgis is in one of the Dakotas?
Yeah, South Dakota.
South Dakota.
I ride it. You can do it in... I've seen lunatics do it in one day. I do it in 3 days because I like the ride out there. People are like, gotta get there. And then they get there and they're standing around. My buddy once said, like, how many black T-shirt stands do you need to see? It's just like black T-shirt. But I love the ride out because I take the old Billy back roads. I go way off the fucking path.
Billy Backroads. That's me
Yeah.
in LA. Billy Backroads.
Yeah.
I just fucking, I don't care if it takes longer. I can't sit in this fucking traffic anymore.
But that's it, man. I just loved motorcycles, And then when I did comedy, I was like, oh, fuck these motorcycles. I love comedy,
Yeah, and then you rode them forever until you got fucking run over. Like, show people your tattoo.
Oh,
This is
man.
like, he has it like rubbed off. That's from when
Yeah.
he got run over. Somebody stole an Escalade that was, the guy was filling it up with gas and some chick jumped in it.
Stole
and you
it.
were on the 110.
Yep.
And you were literally thinking, wow, man, what a great day to ride.
It was a Labor Day weekend, Monday. No one on the road today. This is great. And I was going over to Marin's for a barbecue, and I got to that one. There's 3 tunnels on the 110. As
Yeah.
soon as I got to the middle tunnel, I heard this. Boom, boom, like an episode of Chips when they would floor it. I go, as soon as I said, what the fuck is that? My mirror was all black. And it was an Escalade, just hit me doing 70 miles an hour. I flew down the fucking freeway, and
Dude, I got to tell you.
oh my
When I
god,
went over to your apartment.
yeah, you came over.
He goes over.
Bill saved
he
me.
He wears a fucking medium T-shirt, and
Yeah.
he's like, bro, do me a favor. When the adrenaline wore up, you go, bring me like 4 or 5 like quadruple XL, like my 600-pound life T-shirt, so they wouldn't be sticking to it.
Yeah.
dude, when you fucking lifted your. This
yeah.
shit, I can't even. It looked like a hamburger.
It was hamburger.
It was fucking. It was salmon.
I did a
It was the reddest shit. It looked like the organic. This is from the ocean. The salmon does that.
It
farm
looks
raised
like
shit.
that, salmon.
Yeah, it looked like a fucking a giant piece of salmon. I just go like, oh my god.
Oh man, I was in that sad little apartment, that guest house. And it was just in there, and I had to have the big shirts because it was oozing out.
Ugh.
Yeah, and I did a set that night. Broke ribs. I didn't want to cancel.
You broke your ribs.
Yeah, I had broke ribs here. I had the smashed ankle, remember?
Dude, is there anything worse than when you have broken ribs and you feel a sneeze coming?
How about like just don't make me laugh or anything and sneezing? But you know what's crazy was getting out of bed with the broke ribs. You don't realize you use your upper torso, and then when you need to use it, dude, I would slide out of my bed onto the floor, right? And then I'd grab the bedpost and then pull myself up to get out of bed.
Oh, yeah. And there's nothing they could do. I never had broken ribs. I had one time, I did one of those football shows.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the former players was trying to show me something because I was sticking up for the defensive player, and there was a quarterback. He goes, no, man. He reached and he grabbed him. And, you know, the fucking guy grabbed me, and he went to pick me up.
Yeah.
And rather than putting the pressure here so it was on my back, he did it on the side. And I just heard like pop, 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 pop on the side. I was like, oh, fuck. And then I said to him, he goes, you all right? And I said, yeah, I think that was my back. I was trying to make him feel better. He goes, no, I think it was your ribs. And I was like, what the fuck, right? And I still don't know what happened.
Wow.
It was like a dislocation or something. And one of the hardest I've ever made comedians laugh was a few days later, I pulled in the store, my old truck.
Yeah.
And I was going to get out of it. And I forget who was there. I had him on the ground laughing because I was just going like, I was getting out. I sounded like that lady that stepped on the grapes and fell over. I was going, oh, 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 oh. And I couldn't stop doing it. And I was embarrassed. I was trying to stop doing it, but I couldn't. And it was just, and it took like fucking, like the better part of a minute to get out of the truck.
Oh my God.
I finally ended up going, I had a Jedi masseuse back then before she passed away. She fucking worked on it. And after she worked on it, it was about like 24 hours, and then it was fine. Because I still don't know what he did, like what the popping sound would be.
Yeah.
It was just sort of, he moved them around and aggravated, and they weren't even broken. So I can't even imagine, but I do know, like during those days when I was waiting to go see her, Diana Linden, the great Diana Linden, rest in peace, she was going to work on me, and I just remember a few times, I just remember feeling a sneeze coming.
Oh, the worst.
And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, my God. The worst.
And I was
just like...
And then you're trying to hold it in, and he just
re-breaks
I went like,
yeah.
And I literally went like, oh, for like 2 minutes. I was going, oh. And I saw my wife like trying not to laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's fucking hilarious. I actually ended up looking up, I want to say there's YouTube videos of that, of people with cracked ribs sneezing
well, the thing
or
is,
laughing, because it's fucking, you see the look on their face.
You can't believe how many times you sneeze once you have broke ribs. Like, I don't sneeze ever. Then you get the broke ribs, you're like, oh, God, I got a sneeze coming on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
does this work?
No, what I would do is I would just hold my breath, like, like just try not to sneeze, and then it's fucking brutal. And then a year later, when I was all better.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So you're laying in the road on the 110, thinking you're dying, and then who comes up to you?
That's the fucking craziest Dean story.
He's laying in the highway.
I'm laying on the highway, and I'm laying there, and all of a sudden I hear, oh, you okay, Dean? And I look up, and it's one of my best friends, Kevin Christie, who's a great comedian and artist. And the first thing I think is, wow, you see your friends when you're dead. 100%. There's no way I'm alive. To see this fucking guy in the middle of Los Angeles, millions of roads.
So when you took your helmet off, he was like, oh, shit, Dean.
He walked up. He knew it was me because he saw the bike. It was a really...
Was it that tan one that you had?
It was the turquoise and cream Harley FXR.
That was the one?
Yeah, and I'd only had it 2 weeks. It was my favorite. I got it from a dude. I mean, I had it for like a year, but I had redone the whole thing, and it was like 2 weeks in.
And there was something limited about it.
Oh, there's only like maybe 10 made. It was a FX.
I just did that on purpose. Everything Dean buys is limited. I remember you had that blue car.
Yeah, the Subaru WRX, the Smurf.
Yeah, the Smurf with it was a 5-speed, twin turbo or something.
Crazy.
You had it for like a week.
Yeah. Well, you know what happens is, I said it before. Everything in my house is a parachute. So I buy something. I go, career's going pretty good right now. And then 2 months from now, I go, fuck, I got no dates. Sell this. And I just get rid of shit, man. It's like, I got to get rid of this. It's
Dude,
crazy.
The turnover.
The turnover.
I mean, you could have your own eBay. The amount of shit that you have sold.
Oh.
And I'll be like, I anytime, I'll be like, hey, you still got that whatever? You're like, nah, sold it.
Yeah.
Sold it. Well, I didn't have any dates. I needed to fucking eat, so I sold
It's
it. But
so
like,
true.
You could do you could teach a class on how to survive the ups and downs of this business. You are really like, what I love about the way you hustle is you don't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
You're not out there selling drugs. You're not, taking advantage of people or anything. You just you have a good eye for really quality shit. When you got money, you own it. And then when you need money, you sell it. And the shit sells like that.
Immediately, because I only buy something that's super rare and I only like the best. And I grew up crazy poor. So I always wanted, like, I got a paper route, worked 2 years to get the best BMX bike.
That's what I learned from you. Like, I learned if you go out and buy a car,
yeah,
you got to be, whatever car you're buying, you got to be able to afford to buy the one with the best engine with all the options, or buy a lesser car loaded. And those are the cars that, like, over time will hold their value. Like, those fucking, I guess, like, back in the day, if you bought, like, the chick Camaro with, like, the V6.
Oh, yeah, the Bertolina.
Bertolina.
Yeah.
Bertolina, Mike
Yeah,
Bertolina. Berlinetta.
Yeah, Berlinetta.
Bertolina.
Yeah.
Like, what someone's going to like about that is they don't give a shit if it's numbers matching, and they'll make
redo
a sleeper. Yeah, they pull the engine out or whatever. Well, anyway, the fastest fucking hour of my life. This is all we do. We just talk about cars, motorcycles, and all this shit. First of all, I got to thank you for all the years of your friendship and being on the road. And out of all the cool shit that I've done, because I've known you, like, jamming and doing the AC/DC stuff and playing with all these rock stars that I grew up watching, riding those Harleys.
Yeah.
Up in Santa Marina a few weeks ago, was the fucking thrill of like, I swear to God, dude, I'll be on my deathbed someday, and out of all the great memories I have, that is going to be tearing through that fucking valley, man. It was just like, there's no feeling like that in the fucking world.
The greatest thing about that, though, is I was able to give you some of your dreams, like playing with, Nikki Sixx and Scott Ian and those guys you had on.
God, and I fucked the song up too.
Yeah, but
nobody
I'm saying,
knew. Scott Ian saved my ass on that.
And then the Harley stuff. I love being able to do that for you, because what you have done for me and my career and just friendship and everything is, I mean, dude, Hollywood Bowl, Red Rocks, the Garden, the LA Forum, Oakland Arena.
And now we're playing a Cave in Tennessee.
Now we're doing a Cave. These are all venues I didn't make it to in music, and my dreams have come true.
Well, I think
comedy.
this special is going to be huge for you, and I think this will be the vehicle, because there's a lot of people, I think, that are watching this podcast that are like you, that like quality shit.
Yeah.
Identify with I like quality shit, but I don't have the fucking money to get it.
Yeah.
Which is how we all grew up that way. Like, I remember,
God.
like, my dream when I was a kid was, I didn't know what I was going to do for a job, but my dream was to have season tickets to the Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, and Celtics, and anytime there was a game, I could go, and I was going to go with all my buddies from high school that we drink beer and all that shit, and I'm doing the dumb kid shit. And what's funny, I'm still friends with those guys.
That's the best.
I'm still friends with those guys, and I went back recently and I did this thing for the Patriots, and I brought out the guys I had season tickets with, like, fucking 35 years earlier. I go, would you ever think in a million years that this franchise would end up? It was a Tom Brady retirement thing that I got to go to. It was fucking amazing. So
that was killer.
So anyways, what's the name of the venue? The Cavern, right?
TheCaverns.com.
Yep.
I think we have maybe about 300 tickets left. It's a destination venue. There's great hotels out there. They also have camping, which is amazing, or those Yurks or whatever they're called, Yurks. cabins. You can stay at the fucking place if you want. And
Well, Tennessee is one of the most beautiful states.
oh my God, I love it.
All these jerk-offs are moving to fucking Nashville. Like, the whole state is going. I don't want to have anybody else move there because I feel bad for the people that live in Tennessee.
I love it out there.
But, like, eastern Tennessee, out in Knoxville, the Appalachian Mountains, going into
Beautiful.
the Carolinas is...
And the audiences there are fantastic.
Yeah.
And we've done the Ryman a few times.
There's a place I got to book a gig just
Yeah.
because I miss it every year. There's an F-100, Ford F-100 get-together.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Tennessee. I forget where it is. I want to say it's closer to Memphis than it is Nashville. And every year, I want to say it's in May. And there has to be a venue nearby. And
I got one more venue for us because it's
What's
cool
that?
because you're like,
the
all right.
Cow Palace.
Well, we got to do the Cow Palace, and we got to do that. But we have to do, because Bill's like, we got to do some cool venues this year, like some outside the box shit. We need to do the Gorge in Seattle. It's the last one of those organic Red Rocks, the Caverns,
okay,
the
I'll do it,
Gorge. It's
yeah.
on the river.
I'll do
and
it.
it's,
Well, I got to get my new hour together because
Yeah.
I just did this special. But I will say, what about that? What's that place we played in Berkeley?
Oh, unbelievable. The Greek is where you were, like you said, that's where we're at for now on. We do the Cow Palace, then the Greek.
Oh, the Greek was unreal. I got to go up there and go to a game, man. Their football stadium was right there. That was right up. I did Flushing in Queens where they had the original U.S. Open. That was another one.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fucking unbelievable.
Flushing Meadows? Oh,
it was fucking unbelievable. Like those things, because they're so old, they're made out of like stone. It feels like, you're looking at the crowd, they're all dressed in like modern clothes, so you know it's 2024, but it could be like, I don't know. I'm not good with history. It just feels like it's in Roman times or something. So anyway, I could babble on and on forever. The great Dean Delray, September 8th, going to be at the Caverns just outside of Nashville. I will be there also doing all the new shit that I got going on. Love you, brother. So excited for you, man.
Oh, man.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
That's the podcast. Thank you, guys. Go out there. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday. Fucking Monday there. August 15th, 2016. What's going on? How are you? Old Freckles. Finished his tour strong. I did my last two nights. One, Cologne, Germany, and then the other, Antwerpen, Belgium. Got a frog in my throat here. Just amazing shows. And I got to tell you something. I want a special thank you to the people who came out in Germany. I fucking did my Hitler shit, and I thought that they were going to pull back. They loved it. And I don't mean loved it like, yeah, bring the guy back. They had a great sense of humor about it. And, it was great, too. And then all my other shit, too, was working well. It was just a great show. And I learned a lot about the city. Oh, no, you didn't, Bill. You were there for fucking like 17 hours. I went on their Wikipedia page, Cologne, Germany, and I found out that it was one of the most bombed cities of World War II. So it was this weird thing where it was this really old city, but everything was brand new because the Allies fucking blew everything up, except for this one church, which I don't understand how it survived. It's got the really tall fucking spires. It was just sitting there. It must have had like Mayweather fucking head movement. I don't know how it avoided it. I also don't get how like Cologne, Germany somehow got bombed more than Hiroshima or Nagasaki. I mean, they got fucking, is it because it was just one bomb? That really redefined the old right there, Fred, when you drop a fucking atom bomb on somebody. That is probably the ultimate right there, Fred, where Cologne, Germany was more just like, do you remember that fight, what the fuck, George St. Pierre had, where he just kept punching that other guy right in his fucking eye? Jab, and he kept hitting him in the exact same fucking place. That's what we did to Cologne, Germany, where
Japan, that was more like an Anderson Silva, you know, when you're standing there and you think he's going to throw a jab and then he somehow gives you an uppercut with his foot. Is it, Bill? Is that what an atomic bomb is like? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyways, so the tour finished up strong, and I don't hear a lot of people ever saying that they go to Belgium, you know, at least in the States. Jesus Christ, it was fucking incredible. The number one thing that was so fucking cool about Belgium is their beer glasses are the shit. Every fucking beer, it's like it has its own goddamn chalice that it puts it in. And it just, I don't know, just psychologically it all tastes better. I bought some chocolates there for my lovely wife. And now I'm going to be on vacation here. All right? But fucking old Billy Fattigan is hitting the gym. I did 45 minutes on the elliptical yesterday, and then went right into town and got myself a large pizza that I ate by myself. Nia's laughing at me. Then I had a Coca-Cola with that. What else did I have? Nia, what else did I? And I had a fucking gelato.
Calamari.
Oh, and I had the calamari. How they said it, right? I'm like, can I get some fried calamari? And the guy goes, calamari. I'm like, yeah, the way you say it. The way you say it sounds great. The way I say it, just fucking terrible. So that's what I had for lunch. So I should have done 4 hours and 45 minutes on the fucking elliptical. My fucking belly is so goddamn round right now. It's ridiculous. You know what's hilarious? The Italian fellow there that picked me up at the airport. And by pick me up, I'm just mean he just had a great opening line and I couldn't resist. The taxi guy, he fucking said the funniest shit, was saying how hard he was working during the summer. And he goes, that's why my body, he goes, it's white like the mootz-ah-rella. And I was going, I fucking died laughing because I have been called hey, fucking Casper, fucking yardsticks, you know, in golf, chalk legs, all this shit. No one ever said, your legs are white like the mootz-ah-rella. You know what's funny about mootz-ah-rella is it's sweaty, too. It's all fucking wet and white. Its only redeeming qualities, it tastes so good. But if it just didn't taste good, you'd just be like, that's just a ball of white slime. And, yeah, when I'm on the elliptical, I'm like a big red fucking ball of mootz-ah-rella.
I said you had legs dipped in flour.
Come here. What did you say?
Remember when I said you had legs dipped in flour?
Yes, I remember all of those. I remember all of them vividly. What are you doing? Are you going to be on the podcast? You're just going to lay there giggling in the background.
Can I do both?
No, you know what it was, Nia? You had that little fucking donut.
Yeah.
That's what put you down on the mat. I fucking hate donuts.
How do you hate donuts?
I like calamari. I like the margarita pizza. The colors of the Italian flag, Nene.
You think that was it? It was so little. It was like, it wasn't even a real size donut. It wasn't even the size of a munchkin from Dunkin'.
Yeah, it was.
It was smaller than that.
It was the exact size of that.
No.
And you eat one of those.
It was smaller than a munchkin.
This is why I don't like donuts. Okay, most of them stink, like that one. That one was not good.
I thought it was good.
All right. Well, okay. Hey, fair enough. All right, but you eat one of those and your body just goes, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's the ultimate what the fuck food. It's sifting through it. Where's the nourishment? It's nothing. Nene, I'm eating pizza and calamari.
Yeah.
You know, even that shit makes you... The calamari. That was fucking light.
Yes, it was.
Even though it was bad for you and all that shit. But I fucking don't... At least there's some sort of protein in there. Somewhere in there, there's a fucking squid. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's squid.
Squid, yeah.
Fried squid.
All right. So once you get past the batter and all that shit, in there is something that has some sort of nutrition. Eat a fucking donut. It's just like...
No, it's all sugar.
And dough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I eat one of those and I feel like I
I was up early, though, too. I was up earlier than you, so I feel like...
Oh, I know. I realize that. This whole fucking vacation. I finally get to sleep. I haven't slept in like 10 days.
Okay.
Because, you know, I was going from country to country, and then I was also drinking like fucking Nick Nolte in 48 hours. Did he drink, or he just sound like a drunk? So I wasn't getting a lot of sleep. So now I'm catching up on all that.
Do you know, you said Nick Nolte, and I thought Gary Busey.
They're interchangeable.
Right, but one of them's crazy and the other one isn't, right? One of them's like normal.
Yeah, but they're like, they really look like each other.
Yeah, they got a similar...
Which is the same thing, like the Spider-Man guy and the Hobbit dude look the same to me.
Oh, Tobey Maguire and Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
They're both like petite men, petite brown-haired, like blue-eyed boys.
That make like fantasy movies.
Right.
Yeah. To me, they're the same. They're the Nick Nolte and what's his face?
Gary
Busey.
Elijah Wood and Tobey Maguire.
All right.
Wait, what was the movie we were talking about yesterday? It was one of hashtag BB's titles. Oh, right. How I Met Your Computer.
Oh, that sitcom. Yeah, when I was in Germany, the story about the three nerds and the chick there.
Yeah, and you called it How I Met Your Computer.
Yeah, but I knew that was wrong. I just kept thinking Third Rock from the Sun.
Right.
I don't know why.
No.
What's the name? There's no number in that show.
It's
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. But you kept calling.
How I Met Your Computer. They're smart. It's all of those, because I don't watch any of those sitcoms just because I'm out of the loop with that stuff. But I like that show and I watched it. But I just sent you a video of it because I was in Germany. And the tallest one of the kids there on Big Bang Theory, just watching him in a German accent.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jim Parsons. He's the one that wins all the Emmys. So you like Big Bang Theory? I've never seen a single episode, and it's like the biggest show.
It's a Big Bang, Nene.
It's a Big Bang. I've not seen a single episode.
Well, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it in German. So anyway, Nia's been falling asleep here at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night because you're still jet lagged. And then I stay up late, you know.
What did you do last night after I fell asleep?
I sat outside on the chair.
Uh-huh.
And I watched a bunch of Billy Squier videos. I don't know how I got into that, but I was sipping a little Johnny Walker Black over there. And I was thinking, I don't know, I was just watching all these drum videos. I was going down that little fucking rabbit hole there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, remember that guy that used to play for Billy Squier that kind of had a Bonham-esque feel? And I couldn't remember his name. And then I looked it up. So, oh, yeah, Bobby Chewinart. And he was from Brockton, Mass. And he was, just was a fucking monster player. And I remember... he died really young. He was only like 43. I think he had like a heart attack. So I just went to go put that, I wanted to listen to him play. And then I just was watching this Billy Squier shit like live in Detroit. That guy was such a fucking rock star. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand. And everybody always talks. He made this one video, and everybody always talks about that ended his fucking career. It was like that thing came out in the fucking 80s. It was so in the 80s, like, that nobody noticed. Most of the videos from that time did not stand the test of time. You know what I mean? But I hate when people try to go like, oh, like in the moment when that video came out, everybody said to hell with Billy Squier. That's not what happened. He just didn't have any more hits after that. But even like, I actually read a quote. Martha Quinn was going, I remember that video came out. I don't remember an adverse reaction to it. She goes, I thought it was kind of cute, which is not what you want to say. But basically now you look at, he's got like this pastel fucking shirt on, and he's just sort of stomping around fucking wrecking this apartment. It's really bad.
If that's the case, though, wouldn't like most rock videos in the '80s be like ripped to shreds?
Oh my God, yeah.
Maybe
People,
they are. I don't know.
they're horrible.
Wait,
Everybody, the synchronized fucking dancing, licking your bass, fucking everybody doing that thing like they were fucking eating pussy, doing that at the thing. Steve Vai with his fucking double neck guitar, and he's sitting there like acting like he's fucking the guitar.
What's your
when he's playing?
What's your favorite rock video from the '80s? I have one. It's Money for Nothing. The animation? No.
Oh, yeah.
That one? Yeah. No, but that's number 2. The first one is Take On Me by A-ha, but they weren't a rock band. Were they more pop? Were they considered pop?
Yeah, but that was...
In any Robert Palmer video with all the chicks.
Take on me.
Take on me.
Take me out.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. And any Robert Palmer video with the half dozen chicks with the same body type and the black slick back hair, the red lips.
The big titties. I got to be honest with you, that video, those chicks did nothing for me. Everyone's like, oh my God, those chicks are so fucking hot, dude. There's like 6 of them. They're just standing there.
They were all like supermodels. And they like...
that's why none of them could play an instrument. Fucking
I know,
good-looking freaks.
That was really funny how they all just fake playing instruments.
Yeah, and they had that fucking look on their face like they hadn't got enough free drinks that night. I told you, I have major fucking issues with women of that ilk. I respect them. You're gorgeous. You know what I mean? But just like, they're fucking the most boring people ever. The worst fucking interviews ever. You get a fucking model just sitting there. They fucking stink. They just look good. It's just shut up. We just want to look at you. You're like a fucking lamp that somebody wants to fuck. But other than that, you're useless. You're a fucking useless person. So I like the fucking whoas.
Oh, God.
I always like the whoas. I like the
the slutty party girls.
Those chicks.
Those are the good looking girls you like.
Yeah, they look like they were fun. Like if you showed up with like a 12 of fucking Budweisers, they'd fucking drink some with you, and someone was going to get a blowjob. You watch the fucking Robert Palmer video. It's like nobody's getting their dick sucked here.
Yeah, no.
These fucking chicks are so up their own asses.
No.
They're just, they probably all hated each other.
They're too classy for that. They don't want to go to a dive bar with you.
Oh, yeah, they're too classy for that until Uncle Terry takes their pictures, and all of a sudden they get in a 3D look at his salt and pepper fucking pubes coming at him. That fucking creep. Dude, anytime you're of a certain age and you start telling younger women to call you Uncle so-and-so and you're not fucking related to him.
He's disgusting.
That's a major... You know the reason why I know about him is because you're into the fashion world.
He's so disgusting.
Yeah, anytime he takes... Terry...
His photographs are played out.
I know.
That whole style is played out.
What's your theme for this one? All right, it's like you're drugged up, but you really want to fuck this old guy.
Do you remember when we went into that bookshop and we saw like the books that he published before he started getting all this fame for like taking pictures of Jared Leto? It's literally him with his dick in some girl's face and him literally coming on a girl. Like those were the whole books of them. Those were his photographs at first.
The only reason why I know who the guy is, the reason why I know who that guy is because of you.
Yeah.
This is the people. Anybody who calls himself uncle is either a fucking pervert or they think everything that they say is fucking amazing. Like Ted Nugent. Just another tip from your Uncle Ted. I got the whole world figured out. He lives in like a tree fort and he shoots bears with arrows and then
like
all of a
Alaska
sudden
or something?
Yeah, and all of a sudden he knows how the world should work. I just don't understand, you know.
Isn't he like he's like a big conservative gun nut. Do you need some water? What's going on over there?
Nah, I'm fine.
All right.
I'm just clearing my throat. I pulled the fucking thing away.
Let me clear my throat.
Ted Nugent, I respect anybody that knows how to fucking hunt. Anybody knows how to hunt, everybody knows like guns and shit. I think that's a really cool thing.
I feel like does he hunt? He hunts for food, or does he kill a bear to put it on his living room floor? Both.
I have no idea. You'd have to ask him why he hunts, but I know he knows how to do it. I think that's a cool thing, and and he's a responsible gun owner. He has a gun. He doesn't go around shooting people. But if you go into his house, he's going to blow your fucking head off. I mean, that's... There you go.
There you go.
That totally makes sense to me. But just because I agree with that doesn't mean I need to listen to you and your fucking... I'll listen to your thoughts about our foreign policy with fucking whatever you want to do, but you can't deliver it in this fucking way. That's another tip from your Uncle Bill.
Uncle Bill.
I don't know. So anyways, Nia, I was on the internet last night, and I was looking up all this Billy Squier stuff. Billy Squier live in Detroit. The fucking guy's guitar playing. Total front man. His interaction with the crowd. I mean, the guy he just was fucking murdering it. And he had this great band, and I ended up went down this whole fucking thing, looking up Bobby Chouinard, and there's a book on him and stuff, which of course I ordered on Amazon. It's like $20. Got the hardcover. And I remember I used to take drum lessons. I can't remember the name of it, but I used to take it in Brockton. And
how long have you been taking drum lessons?
Well, I took them for like 3 or 4 years in the early 90s, and then I didn't take them again until last year. Oh, no, wait. A little bit when I was in New York, I used to go... I had a couple teachers at... Jesus Christ, what the fuck was it called? What the fuck is that place called?
When we were dating?
No.
Before, right?
No, what happened was I started fucking playing, and I don't know, I played like 3-4 years. Then I started taking some lessons, and then right around that time I started doing stand-up. And then stand-up was the thing. Like, it's the thing that stopped me from being a great drummer, Neil, was time. I didn't have the time, and I didn't have the God-given gift.
That's a big one.
I had to end on the big one. I did not have the gift, and I thought if I just kept working at it, I would somehow work my way into having the gift.
Do you see yourself? Wait, can I just ask you? Do you see yourself in your 70s? Like doing comedy in Vegas somewhere and kind of doing like a Don Rickles type of situation, but then maybe you get behind the drums and sort of do like a musical comedy thing.
Oh God!
And it's like,
oh God!
But it's charming because you're old.
That would be so pathetic. No. Yeah, but it would be all the music I listen to. Welcome to the jungle.
And you're wearing like a tuxedo?
No, and then I'd have all the young hotties singing, going,
right.
Bill's got fun and games, and then they come over, and they'd fucking pat my bald head. Oh, he's so adorable. Nia, I would kill myself. I would jump off the Welcome to Vegas sign. I'm saying that now as a 48-year-old. Who knows?
Yeah, but don't you see, like, moving into your 70s, 80s, doing like a month or so residency. We can move to Vegas for a couple months.
Yeah, this is like the saddest scenario ever.
Why? They would pay you a good amount of money. Why is that sad? You think you're going to be going on tour in your 70s? You think you're going to be on the road like you are now?
No, I think I'm going to save my fucking money so I don't have to. The only reason I'll be on the fucking road in my 70s is if I still want to be. If I still felt like I had something to say. But I'm going to be in my fucking 80s like, what's up with... I don't know. What's up with these computers? I'll still be bitching about the same shit.
But I know you're going to still want to do comedy. But
I love making people laugh, and if I do it on a much smaller scale, I'm fine with that. But I'm not going to make a fucking ass of myself and have some luau-themed fucking comedy show. Oh, please tell me you'll drag me off stage before I do that. The day I show up and I'm in drag and I have like the coconuts over my fake titties.
Caesar's Palace presents Bill Burr.
Oh God, that would be a nightmare.
No, we could live in this. We could live in a suite at Caesar's for like 2 months, and you do your, classic comedy, telling jokes from the 2020.
Well, that's the thing. You can't do classic comedy. You can't go out like I saw Don Rickles and Tony Orlando opened up. And he was playing, knock 3 times on the ceiling. And I remember that fucking year. You're like psyched. Mm-hmm. You're psyched, but like no one's psyched to hear a joke again that they already heard. They just go away. I can't be like, all right, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a president a long time ago. He stuck a cigar out of the car. Monica Lewinsky. They remember. And then you just start doing all that, and then I do like a medley of styles that all influenced me. I do the Eddie Murphy laugh, the Sam Kinison yell, the Seinfeld why, as the band plays underneath it.
Yeah, exactly.
Comedy and music have a lot of similarities. There's a rhythm, isn't there, Johnny? And I'm wearing Hawaiian shirts because I'm crazy. What's he gonna say next?
Yeah, but you're not gonna want to just rest on your laurels, even in your 70s. You're gonna still want to go out. So I'm just thinking about.
I'm gonna rest on my ass. That's white like the mootz-ah-rella.
Like the mootz-ah-rella.
All right, mootz-ah-rella. No, I don't get the concept of retiring. Like, if you retire, I would feel useless, and I would just be like, I'm going to die in about 10 days. I would be one of those people. If I retired, I would be dead in a week, because I'd just be like, it's over. I'm useless. Why am I still here? And I would go into an unbelievable depression.
That's what I mean. So you still have to work, but you have to work in a capacity in which someone wants to see a 70-year-old comedian. And the place where people would want to see and pay to see a 70-year-old comedian is Las Vegas. Let's be real. Or you could have a few nights run at a theater in New York, maybe. But it's not like you're going to be going to all the comedy clubs like you're doing now, which is fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All of that is really frightening. I can tell you that.
I don't mean to frighten you.
Well, the end, that's the end of your fucking life. It's just the end.
I'll be there with you. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I picture my 70s and 80s. I definitely am wearing slippers, and I'm just putzing around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, God willing, the house is paid for. I still have a nice car, right?
Definitely.
And
you're gonna be like Hef. What do you think Hef does all day? He probably putters around the house in his slippers.
Did somebody buy that house?
Somebody bought it, and then he was going to but he wanted to turn it into something. And so the deal didn't work out. Because I think the thing is, you can buy it, but Hef has to live there until the end of his life, which makes sense.
That's what's going. I don't know if any. Yeah, I think they did an article on that. You gotta buy his house. It's for $100 million, and it's a teardown. Which means he didn't keep it. How did he not keep it up? You know what it was? He was in the fucking magazine business. He started it in the 50s, and who would have known that the internet would come along and all these kids stopped buying magazine, all this free porn and all that, and it just went down the fucking drain. That's the other thing, too, Nia. The lucky thing that I have being a comedian is people always want to laugh. And I think that that's the reason why not only has it survived all of these new technologies, it actually thrives because, what's the main shit that you watch on the internet? You want to fucking laugh or jerk off to something. That's the two big things. And comedy it fits. Joke can be really quick. Guy walks into a bar. He says blah blah blah. The guy says blah blah blah. and done. You get the fucking laugh, and these kids with their fucking squirrel-like attention spans, it works. So, I don't know how long it works at this fucking level. But I don't know. Yeah, all that shit's fucking scary to me. So I just keep. I'm just looking for my next special, Mia. And I got, by the way, I got it worked out.
You do?
Yeah, I know which ones I'm doing. I know which ones I'm leaving out. Any ones that I feel are like gonna even remotely be like considered like done before. You know, as much as I like the aborted landing bit that I've been doing, I'm not doing it because at the end of the day, it's fucking airplane material, and that'll just be one where I'll just have that one in my back pocket. As far as like if I'm just somewhere one night and I'm sick of my act, I'll just bust that one out again. Although I feel like I told it in every.
You can bring it back at Caesars when you're 70.
There you go.
It's a timeless joke.
Yeah, dying in a plane crash. I've been at that one's just a fun one to do, and it fucking murders. Everyone can relate to it and everything, but I just kept in the back of my head. I just kept going like, you know, this is just airplane material. And then one night I went to Flappers. I'm not going to say who. I saw him on stage, and he had a joke about an aborted landing, and mine was different enough, but it just hit the same points.
Right.
You know, the stewardess not talking, the fucking, what's going through your head and all that, and it just was like, and I was going to say something, hey, I kind of got something like that, but then I was just like, I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm just not going to do it. But on this past tour, when I went through Europe, I broke it out probably 60% of the nights because it kills. And I was also trying to get comfortable. I always have to get a little comfortable over here to forget that I'm not in the United States.
Do you feel like protective of certain jokes? Like with that one you were saying, someone had a similar premise, so you're kind of more willing to let it go. But are there certain jokes that you just feel like, you absolutely are like, no, this is definitely going in the special, not compromising?
Not if I see somebody else doing something like I'm doing. No, I wouldn't do that, because then I'm thinking, well, did they put theirs out yet, or are they going to put theirs out? And I drop the joke is what I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if maybe you came up with it, for not saying that this is the case with the airplane one, but if you feel like, if you hear somebody do something about Caitlyn Jenner or something like that.
Yeah, like even that one, like as much fun as I've been having with that, I don't think I'm doing that one in the special.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I got this other chunk of shit that I can do that's along the same lines. And also, I made fun of Caitlyn when I was on Conan, so that's already out there. And then I also feel like it's just kind of, it's done. I just feel like that subject is, I just, when I'm up there, when I'm doing the bit, as much fun as I'm having, the fun that I'm having is the crowd's reaction to what I'm saying. But, my heart of hearts, I don't have any passion for it anymore. I don't give a shit. She's not in the news anymore.
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just that one period when, when they made that federal case about her fucking where she should pee and what building, and that was just such a layup as far as like, this is your fucking problem, and like I don't know, we just come back from Asia and shit and just seeing what those people are going through, and then you come here and this fucking millionaire Olympic star is, I don't know.
I know, she doesn't have a show anymore. They canceled the show. It's kind of like it's done, Yeah, that's true.
It's got to be killing him
to not have the show.
Well, Jesus Christ! I mean, if you're not interested, if you're not interesting after you do something like that,
well, that's the thing. It's like he was boring as Bruce, and she's boring as Kate. Like, it's just not. There's nothing magical that happened now that he's come out as transgender. Like, there's nothing. He's still a Republican. He's still living in Malibu. Still boring. It's just not. she looks great, but other
That
than
was the
I got
best
nothing.
part. I love the transgendered Republican.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
just-
everybody getting mad. I love how they
It's the
thought if he
same
got some titties, all of a sudden he'd be looking at the world
Exactly.
differently.
No, she's exactly the same. She just looks different, and she's got a great stylist and a great hairstyle and great makeup. That's it. But it's the same person. Nobody watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians to see Bruce.
All
Nobody
right,
cared.
come on. I mean, the guy's had enough pain. He's obviously suffering here.
I think Caitlyn is fine. Actually, I think he's just fine.
Oh yeah.
She is just fine. Yeah, I think.
Do you think at
Everything's okay.
night, before Caitlyn goes to bed, she puts on the Robert Palmer video and does those dances?
You know what? I would actually love to see. Oh my god! Photoshop, please. Will you please make? Oh my god!
Yeah,
Will
and
you,
then
will you please make Bill Robert Palmer and then a whole row of Caitlyn Jenners
My old Vegas show.
in the background playing the instrument?
All right. I gotta do some advertising here. All right.
Okay.
That was the last one. Thank God. Who do you think's better than you? Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Madonna, or that chick who used to go chi 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 chi, whatever the fuck she do, and then she played
Charo?
she played the flamenco guitar.
Can I rank them as opposed to saying who's best?
Well, isn't that what you're doing?
Are you talking about
Can
in a
you-
live aspect? I've only seen 2 of those 4 examples live.
Dude, the chick playing the flamenco guitar is fucking unbelievable.
Charo is amazing.
All right.
We love Charo.
When Madonna plays guitar, she's like wearing driving gloves, so she's not even taking it seriously. So she's out. All right.
I've never seen Madonna live. I'd like to.
Now, Lady Gaga wears a meat dress while she's on a horse. It's a real horse, right?
That's not what happened.
And then people
but-
take their tits out. Now, Beyonce. Beyonce.
We've never seen live.
I've
She's
never seen live.
amazing.
All right.
She's like
The only time I see her live is when she falls down, because the clip shows up on my YouTube. When she's doing that thing, she's whipping her head around.
on your YouTube.
My YouTube, whatever. You go on the homepage, and it's just like,
Oh, it
well, you
finds
watch
videos.
this slap fight.
Right,
Here's a
right.
frog kicking a fly in the face, and then you're like, oh, I'll watch that. And the next thing you know, you're watching frog fly videos, and then somehow it always ends up coming back around to when Beyonce fell down the stairs. That's how it works for me.
Beyonce. Well, I only saw Beyonce and Gaga in concert. I haven't seen those other 2, and I think Beyonce definitely gave the better concert than Gaga.
Nia Renee Hill throwing shade, I believe is what they say.
That was not throwing shade.
Did you toss it? Did you toss the shade?
There was no shade
Did you-
anywhere in that statement.
Did you put the shade down on the pillow like a mint? All right. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, you know what I'm obsessed with? The car over here. I'm in Italy, Nia. What
Yeah.
car am I going to be obsessed by?
Oh,
The
that-
Ferrari? No.
No,
The
Fiat.
Lamborghini? No. Yeah, the Fiat 500cc.
Yeah,
Had
you've
a-
taken pictures of everyone that you've seen.
A 2-cylinder fucking engine, motorcycle engine, basically. And was considered a 4-passenger back in the day. And they're just the fucking most adorable. I love those little cars. I love smart cars. Those are such cool. That's like when you were a little kid and you had a little fake little car that your mom had to push you around in, but, you know, she was too sleepy
Smart
because she was
cars
having a
freak me
bunch of
out.
kids. No, the only reason why a smart...
So
the
small.
only reason why... You're saying all the obvious things people say about a smart car. The only reason why a smart car stinks is because there's truck drivers texting. That's why it stinks, because, you know, the car's already half mushed up. But as far as just like... Just a great... You just jump in the fucking car. You can park it anywhere.
Where?
I don't know. I like them. I can appreciate a Ferrari all the way down to a smart car. I just hate people who look at a smart car and they're just like they compare it to like a fucking, you know, some sort of race car. You know what I mean? It's like that's not what it's trying to do. Right?
Okay.
I don't know, whatever. I like that car. So I like the little Fiat 500cc. And what I learned was on the old ones is you have to do this technique is called a double clutch. And I was sitting there, I've never understood that. And I had to drive a truck one time on Breaking Bad when I had to pull up in the dump truck, and the guy was trying to show me how to do the double clutch thing, which is weird because when you want to upshift, it's like you got to let the thing slow down. The rotations of the end slow down, and when you downshift, you actually got to hit the gas and have it speed up, which makes no fucking sense to me. I would think it would be the opposite. So it's fucking me up. So finally I go, dude, why don't I just fucking leave it in gear? All right? And I'll give it throttle and I'll let out the clutch and I'll just go. We just finally said yes to that. But ever since then, like I had no idea. But I still have to tell you, even just driving that dump truck in like first gear for like 10 feet into the shot was one of the coolest things I ever did. Yeah, that's like little kid shit. Like you're in a big, giant Tonka truck.
Didn't you also have to like stand on train tracks on Breaking Bad? Or wait, were you pretending to be a train conductor?
Oh, no.
Something with a train?
Yeah, no, we robbed the train. I had to stop the train so the other guys could, I almost said Mr. Pink. Jesse Pinkman and Mr. White robbed it in the back.
Right. That's what it was.
So the funniest part of that, the most fun of that scene, other than driving it, was when they were just shooting me and I had to pretend there was a train coming at me, and there was no train there. And one of the conductors, one of the actors, was just laughing his ass off because he knew I had to do the scene. And that's just one of the things. There's going to be an entire crew of people watching you, not saying anything. And they go action, and you have to, like, in the middle of nowhere, stand on these train tracks and scream and yell, and there's nobody fucking
there's nothing there.
Yeah, there's nobody. But it was a great acting experience because it prepared me for more shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
you were so good on Breaking Bad.
You would have been good on Breaking Bad. It was the writing. Anybody would have been great on Breaking Bad.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, like, anybody would be fucking good on it.
Yeah, but you were like, you would be great on Breaking Bad. I fucking did a 2-episode show on a Netflix series that's premiering next year. May I point out?
I was being fucking modest. When you were great on Breaking Bad. Yeah, I was, wasn't I?
No, you just say thank you. Is it that hard? You are the worst to give a compliment to because you literally just don't know what to do. You can't just say thank you. You're always like, hey, well, what are you going to do? Like,
I got lucky.
You give every response, but it's the simplest response is thank you, and you just can't seem to wrap your mind around it. I've seen it happen so many times. People, oh my God, you're amazing. You're like, hey, well, I just showed up. It's just like, just say thank you. What's so hard?
Because it's fucking weird.
Why is it weird? To get a compliment? Oh, Boston.
Hey, I don't know what. Speaking of which, oh fuck! I forgot. Guess who I ran into?
What?
Guess who I fucking ran into?
Oh.
So I fucking, I'm in Belgium and I'm going up the stairs, and of course my fucking key doesn't work, and I go on this big long fucking stupid fucking technology. How the fuck does this make it fucking easier? Remember you just had a key? If a cell phone touches a key, the fucking key still works, man. I was just being such a fucking baby. And then I went down there and it turned out I had the wrong key. Because this other key was for something else in there. But then still, it's just like, what the fuck, Just give me one fucking key, you assholes, right? So I turn around and I'm walking, and this fucking guy stands up. He's got the 80s rock star fucking hair. He's in great shape, and I just looked at him, and I go, holy shit. I just looked at him, I go, are you Tommy Aldridge? And he goes, yeah. And I was just like, and I literally yelled. I was like, I had normal voice. I go, are you Tommy Aldridge? And he goes, yeah. And then I just go, no way! in the fucking lobby. I go, no way! And I was like, dude, I got all your DVDs. I was trying to say I actually have his drum instructional fucking, I have it on VHS tape. I have it for the VCR. I could see it in his face. He was just going, oh no, this person's crazy.
Right.
How am I going to get out of this? And I just stuck my hand out. I just said, hey man, thanks for all you, I just said thanks for all your great drumming over the years. And as he was walking away, he just said, thanks. That's what just reminded me of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Simple. Thank you. Keep it moving.
Yeah. So it was actually, I want to say, I mean, I'm prejudiced here. I think it was a good fan interaction with him.
Yes.
For him. I didn't ask him for an autograph.
Mm-hmm. No.
I just shook his hand. Right? Plus, who flips out when they see a drummer? Other drummers.
Right. Okay.
Dude, this guy played with fucking Ozzy.
Uh-huh.
He played in Whitesnake. He played in like every fucking band that I listened to coming up.
Whitesnake. I always, like, what was their big hit? Are they? No, that's Poison.
Everybody liked Here I Go Again.
Yes.
No.
Going down the only road I've ever known.
That's how he sings it now. We went down. It's ever known. He goes up.
Oh, okay.
Ever known.
What was that? What was that song that when we were watching VH1 Classic? I don't believe in love.
Keep going.
I never have. I never will.
You kill the will, because that's the way he does it. That was.
I don't believe in love. I never have. I never will.
Oh, he put so much emotion in it. That was Queensryche.
Queensryche?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. There was like
Reich, like R-E-I-C-H?
not like the Third Reich.
Third Reich.
I think more like Middle Earth. They were more like
Oh.
I don't know. I don't fucking understand science fiction, but I do know this. There was like two types of heavy metal bands.
Fantasy.
There was like the people who were just like, hey man, like let's get some booze and fuck some strippers, right? Like Motley Crue. There was Poison and all of those guys. Not saying, I'm not lumping them all together. I'm just saying there was the party fucking bands.
Right.
And then there was the ones that were more like into issues. You know what I mean?
Okay.
With like, Chernobyl.
Is that an actual song?
Chernobyl will. Like, I was trying to think of something that
Who sang
Somebody-
Pour Some Sugar on Me? Def Leppard?
that was Def Leppard.
Yeah.
That was Def Leppard when they became a pop band.
Who sings She's My Cherry Pie?
That was another one of the white bands. That was not White
They were
Snake.
all white.
It was not.
Oh,
not,
you mean the
yeah.
You mean the
It wasn't
name of
White Snake. It wasn't White Line. Oh, that wasn't. What the fuck was their name?
She's My Cherry Pie.
Warrant. Oh, it was a W one.
Warrant.
Yeah, but no, those were the W bands. Then there was Warrant. There was Winger. And there was
Whitesnake.
No, those were all the white bands. White Snake, White Lion, Great White. It always happens. It's like in the 60s, there was the Beatles, the Animals, the fucking Rascals. Everything became the Monkeys. It was all animal names. And then the early 2000s, it was all numbers, right? Late 90s, Matchbox 20, 3 Mary 4.
Wait, so the Monkeys...
2 If by Land.
Were they supposed to be a satirized Beatles? What was the deal with the Monkeys? They were like a manufactured band, right?
Yep.
But were they meant to be
Then I saw her face,
and I'm a believer.
left without a trace. Left the out of my mind. I'm in love.
I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her.
All right, sorry. This is becoming like a slumber party. Let me read the. Not everybody's on vacation right now, so this is not going to be cute for long. All right, here we go. All right, let's read some questions. Let's get back to the real world, where people ask an illiterate comedian for life advice. All right, Rodriguez. Hey, Bill, I listen to your podcast and would like your opinion, which I assume you will hit anyways regarding him. He's like the cheating husband that happens to make too much for that cunt to leave him.
Why is she
so
a cunt if
he
he's
thought.
cheating?
Yeah, he's just trying to be funny to you. It's an expression. It's a term of endearment.
Oh, is that all?
It's a term of endearment.
I see. No, we're not in fucking England where they just.
I don't know if Alex Rodriguez retired. I've seen his name keep popping up. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Being a Red Sox fan, I'm wondering what your opinion is. I'm not a big baseball fan, so I could give two fucks. So you don't care? You just want my opinion? But Kirby Puckett wasn't such a cunt aside from supposedly raping some chick in a restaurant. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
He was
Can we
and
move
still
on,
is
please?
loved and adored in the Twin Cities. Explain the
No.
difference and get your ass here as soon as possible so I can bring someone to see you. I look forward. Thank you. Well, let me see if Alex Rodriguez retired. I really don't have any opinion on A-Rod. After 2004, once the Red Sox won the World Series, I don't give a shit about the Yankees. It's over. It was the end of the movie. It's the end of the fucking movie. They have 27 championships. We're never going to catch them, but they can't rub it in our face that we haven't won one. We won fucking 3. It's over. You know what I mean? It was like Back to the Future. They should have stopped with the first one. They just kept going. And all of a sudden it was the 1800s. They made 2 and 3 at the same time.
He and Derek Jeter, I always get confused. They're both Yankees, right? They're both really handsome and they date famous girls. Right?
Well, personally, I always liked Tino.
Who?
It's another fucking person. They're both really handsome. What are you talking about over here?
Aren't they? Alex A-Rod? Yeah, he's good looking. And then Derek Jeter, they're both like, Rodriguez is obviously like Latino. Derek Jeter is like biracial or something. They're both like honey colored, right? And
You're ruining both of these people for a lot of men right now. All right, what is my opinion on the guy?
Dated, like, Cameron Diaz. One of them dated Mariah.
Okay,
Madonna
let's just move on to the next question.
Oh, all right.
What?
Sorry.
I don't understand. I listen to podcasts and would like your opinion, which I assume. I feel like he's not comfortable in his own skin. And he doesn't know what to say. And now that Derek Jeter, the guy who was totally comfortable in his own skin and never fucked up, is gone, I think he could just sort of fucking chill out. And I'm happy for him. He can just kind of fucking, just be A-Rod. Whatever. I hope he has a good season. Not when he plays the Red Sox, but, I don't give a... It's over. We won the World Series. Go fuck yourself. We ran the table. I'm a happy sports fan. All right, Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. I know he's not Scottish. Stop tweeting me.
Hey, Billy Blood. Did you hear McGregor talking shit about John Cena? He went on a rant about how he respects the old WWF but doesn't give a shit about the new guys because they're all sissies. He calls Cena a 40-year-old grandmother.
In what universe is a 40-year-old a grandmother? I mean, a 40-year-old could be a grandmother, but Jesus. How old is Conor?
No, what's great is he's such a badass that he can actually say that about a guy as big as John Cena, who I imagine has a wrestling background. Some of these guys that get into the WWF actually, like Ken Patera, I remember, was like, he won an Olympic gold medal for wrestling. A number of them, like at the collegiate level, were champions, so they actually know what the fuck they're doing. So their ground game is pretty good, I would think, Anyways, he says, I'm sure McGregor could take punches better, but Cena is much stronger. Who do you think would win, and do you think McGregor is a douchebag? Have you talked to Joe Rogan about this? Joe Rogan is a busy man, so I haven't talked to him about what you think about John Cena. Conor McGregor.
John Cena is in movies and commercials now anyway. He's not even and reality shows. He's not even actively fighting.
Please just say he's honey colored. Just don't say that at any point. All right.
He's not, so I wouldn't.
And yeah, shouldn't you go down to the pool or something?
Oh, now you want to kick me out of the podcast?
Yeah, because you're turning everything into look what's happening now with the gay guy and the fucking old broads with the Botox in their face. What's the name of that show?
I don't know.
Hi, I'm fucking... I'm dressed like I'm from the South, and I'm going to make these fucking Jersey broads get mad at each other.
Are you talking about Andy Cohen?
There you go.
Watch What Happens Live?
There you go.
Okay.
Look what these bitches are yelling about now. He just stirs them up.
He does.
He does. He's like Captain Lou Albano. He calls Cena 40-year-old...
Is that the one with the rubber bands on his beard?
Yeah. Rest in peace.
He was in Cyndi Lauper's video. He played her dad. And the girls just want to have fun video. Sorry.
Nia Hill, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming by the podcast. I'll see you.
All right, I'm done.
No, you're not. Get out.
But isn't that question for... I could answer that, the next one. I'll be quiet for the rest of the segment.
All right. So what do I think about it? I think he's just being Conor McGregor, and that's why you fucking love the guy. He sells fights. He's fucking hilarious. Calling John Cena a 40-year-old grandmother is hilarious, and I imagine he'll say something funny back. and it'll be great. You know, I don't know. No one, Conor McGregor, I don't think he plans out what the fuck he says. I just think he goes up there and he goes off like a comedian that's in the zone. I think he's fucking hilarious. Now I got to go find that. I got to go find that clip. All right. Can women go to bachelor parties? Oh God, what? What is this going to become a thing? All right. Hey, Billy Blue Balls. I'd like your advice on a disagreement my best friend and I are having. He's getting married next fall, and we are very close. We've been great friends since college, and we are so close that him and his fiancée just asked me to officiate their wedding. The disagreement is about whether I should be able to go to his bachelor party in Vegas. I'm a woman, but because he's my best friend, I think I should be able to go. He wants the bachelor party to be men only, and I understand this to a point, but at the same time, by virtue of how close we are, I think I should be able to go. My friend and I are big fans of your podcast and have agreed that if you read this on air, whatever your advice is, we'll take it. So if you don't think that I, the best female friend, should be going to the bachelor party, we'll agree to it. Love the podcast. Hope you come to Boston soon. Thanks, and go fuck yourself. No, you shouldn't, because I thought this was a guy going to be bitching about his male friend that wanted to bring a woman along, and the first thing I was going to say would be like, I don't agree with that, but at the end of the day, it's this person's bachelor party, it's their wedding, so you just gotta, you know, I would just shut up about it, but I would break his balls for the rest of time. Like, this is my best friend. He had a woman at his bachelor party. No, it wasn't a stripper. So I would give the same advice here. This is not your bachelor party, and this is not a time for you to throw a hissy fit and ruin this thing for him. He has the bachelor party the way he wants. I think it's really cool that you guys are best friends, and that you're going to. I think it's enough of an honor that he's going to let you speak, you know, as his best man. I mean, that's pretty fucking amazing. Officiate, whatever. Oh, you're going to do the vows?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's going to officiate the wedding.
Oh, all right. Yeah, there you go.
That's huge.
There you go. Yeah. So
I was. Do you care what I think?
Only if you agree with me.
I agree with you.
And that's why this relationship works.
I totally agree with you.
Okay, my wife.
I can understand why she'd want to go, because it's like, hey, I'm your friend, I want to go, but like.
Yeah, just say what you say. Don't stir her fucking brain up again. All right, you shouldn't go.
Yes, respect your best friend's wishes and not go, because he's gonna want to do some shit. And
hey, Nia, you don't get extra credit. You don't get extra credit for saying what you already said. All right. Every once in a while, to me, and I kiss you. All right. My wife is a gremlin. Hey, Billy Bongos. What? My wife of just over a year is adorable, and everybody loves her. Most days, she is a hardworking, level-headed human. I consider myself to have similar characteristics, and through hard work have become quite successful. Because of this success, we have afforded to become somewhat of a socialite couple. We attend several parties and events on a monthly basis. This all sounds like the beginning of Boogie Nights, doesn't it? And then she starts doing blow. Next thing you know, she's getting banged in the driveway. You're just sitting there going, what the fuck's going on?
That's nothing like Boogie Nights.
Oh. We attend several parties.
How is that Boogie Nights?
I don't know. That's what I'm picturing. Because they're a socialite couple, then they're going to get into the cocaine couple thing.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, I think I see where you're going with this.
All right. So we attend several parties and events on a monthly basis. Normally all goes well, and we go to bed happy and peaceful. But every now and then, my adorable wife turns evil. I already picture her catching him looking at the fucking hotties. You go to a socialite party, you're testing the limits of your fucking relationship. That's when he said, they did a bad thing, right? You're stuck in one of those fucking eyes wide shut parties, yeah. That's what you're doing. Yeah, all of those fucking people. They look at like women, they're like objects and shit, and it's just like they give the old flick of the eyebrow, meaning, hey, you want to fuck mine and I'll fuck yours? I've never been to one of these parties, but that's what I think. That's what I think goes down. All right,
you want to fuck mine
and I'll fuck yours? Well, we both just watch them go down on each other as we discuss stocks. All right. Normally all goes well, and we go to bed happy and peaceful. But every now and then, my adorable wife turns evil. It's a little like the movie Gremlins. I've narrowed it down. If she's boozed, hungry, and tired after midnight, she turns into a Class A cunt. Jesus. She's mean to me, but what is worse is she says evil things about others to me. The result is I am the only person that gets to see and hear this gremlin in action, and it makes me crazy. Makes me want to buy her a pair of cement shoes and a boat. Kidding, I think.
Okay, Eminem.
So, what do? We have talked about it several times the next day with Levelhead, but Gizmo continues to turn from time to time. Do I start carrying granola? I was just going to say, I'd have a sandwich in my back pocket. Do I start carrying granola bars and a 5-hour energies in my pockets? Like, what is that word?
Like an EpiPen.
What is that?
That's for people who have allergies.
Oh, for nut allergies? Yeah. Or do I cut off for booze in general? The lovely Nia have any input? Bring your A game to Gainesville. Until then, go fuck yourself. All right. Sorry, I was just reading that last little bit he had there. What would I do? I don't know. I would... Yeah, I think I would just start bringing snacks. And I would start calling her the gremlin. What's the word you use?
Or just when she starts getting into that zone,
Gizmo.
Just being like, "Hey Gizmo, why don't you take it down a notch?"
Yeah, exactly. I would literally feed her like a rabid dog. You know, if a rabid dog ever came running at you, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to throw a raw steak at him, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Are you supposed to have a raw steak on you at all times?
No, that's a black guy. If you get a black guy, you put a raw steak on
I thought you said black guy at first.
Oh, for a black guy.
What?
Yeah. If a black guy comes at you, you just throw a raw steak.
I was like, what the fuck? Black eye.
Wouldn't that be great if everybody was a meat eater and they liked it rare? Then you wouldn't have to cook it, and you just walk around. I'm going to the store, and you just had steaks with you. If there was any fucking problems, sir, would you like to sign up for this cell phone? You just fucking throw it, and it would just run away. Cost you too much money though. All right, I thought there was some comedy there. There wasn't.
You can't cut off her booze unless you just decide to not go to these events with her, or make sure you guys have a nice dinner before you go out.
I would just break her balls the entire time over there. Be like, so, what do you think? What are you turning into Gizmo tonight? Around 11:30 or 11:45?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gizmo, look at you, going crazy.
Gizmo.
Your teeth are all pointy now. What's going on with you? All right, one more. This is becoming long here.
How long is it?
An hour 12. Here we go. All right, move back to East Coast. Bill, as your success continues and you become even more financially stable and set for the long term, that is an impossibility. I don't understand how you get financially, because at the end of the day, even if you just take all your money and you stick it in a bank, what those cunts do is at some point they play a little fucky fuck and they loan everything out. I will never forget just watching people with their life savings in there standing outside the bank, and there's just a padlock on it. So there's really no place that you can put it. Every place you put it, someone's going to put their fucking hands on it. You know what I mean? Okay, you stick it in the stock market, they start investing it. They just it's so fucked up. They won't just let you have your money. The only way to do it is if you fucking just cashed your check every week and you stuck it in the wall. And then you got to worry, did I leave the iron on? Every time you leave, or someone gets wind that that's what you're doing. And then you got to have the shotgun bed. Have you ever seen the shotgun bed?
No.
It's the greatest fucking bed in the world if you live alone. It's basically, if it's the headboard, you bring your hands back like this as you touch it. Mm-hmm. The thing flips around like a secret door, and a loaded shotgun comes down in your hand.
That's a real thing?
Yeah.
That's not something from a movie?
It's the fucking shit. But here's the thing. Whenever they show the demonstration, the person's in the bed by themselves.
Okay.
Because when it comes down, the fucking barrel is going to be pointing at your wife, at her head.
Yeah. That sounds dangerous.
Well, what you got to do is you got to sleep on the side of the bed. If you're a left-handed shot or a right-handed shot, you got to sit on the side of the bed where, if in your panic, you know what I mean? Like if you woke up in the middle of the night and you looked over and there was just this figure standing there in the door, like that horror movie, when the lady, then she turns the lights on, then she turns it off, and then it's there.
Yeah.
Then she turns it on, she turns it off, and it moved up like 10 feet. And it's like, bitch, leave the fucking lights on.
I cannot watch that trailer because that's exactly what I think. I'm like, why do you keep flicking it on? Maybe because you're like, am I seeing what I'm really seeing? I don't know.
When it moves up, though, that is the shit.
Yeah, it's scary, but I can't deal with that.
You know something? I hate people who don't buy into horror movies. I always buy in. I'm like, all right, I get it. Yeah, she's flipping the lights on.
That would never happen in real life.
Yeah. Anyways, the only way I can see that you're financially fucking set is you buy a house and you fucking pay it off.
All right, get to the rest of this thing here.
Okay. You had any thoughts about what point you would have to get to before you move back to the East Coast? I know that Nia may not be fond of this, and you may not be thinking about it either, but it seems like you would be happier back in Boston. Who the fuck is this idiot?
You don't know me.
Yeah, you don't know me. You don't know what I like. Boston, New York, etc. I'm from Pittsburgh originally and lived in Chicago for a few years, and now I'm in Washington, D.C. area. So I never lived on the West Coast, but have visited numerous times. You can't beat the weather in L.A., but you can't beat the culture of the East Coast. Would love to hear your thoughts, and thank you for keeping us all entertained.
Have you been complaining about L.A. a lot?
No, not at all. I love
so
LA.
Why does this person seem to think that you'd be happier back in Boston?
Because people, I get. Well, by the time I read the rest of it, I get it. He's just looking at the world through his own eyes. I don't know. I sometimes I think about moving back east, but I mean, I'm doing efforts for family. The show business is out there. And there's fucking great people in LA. There's great food. There's all this great stuff to do out there. A lot of people shit on LA because when they move out there, you know, they try to make it in show business and they don't, if they don't get anywhere and they pack it in and they leave, all they really met was a bunch of other desperate people that didn't get anywhere. And it can give you a really bad feeling about LA. I've had that experience too the first time I went out there. And I was like, fuck LA. All the real people are on the East Coast. And I started having that attitude. But, you know, when you go out there, when you break through, like, and you start meeting people, like, some of, like, really most talented, generous, cool fucking people I've met have been when I've been out there. And, you know, I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you meet somebody legendary, you quickly realize why they're a fucking legend. And that's because of their attitude. Like, they've made all this money, they're really super successful, and they're still, like, genuinely interested in new things and don't feel that they know everything and that type of shit. And I don't know. You can't beat the fucking houses out there are awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you've never once complained about living in LA. If anything, you're like, I love it out here. I love it out here.
Yeah.
So,
and I also love New York.
You're getting that.
I love New York, but like, you know, if I was ever to move back to New York, I mean, at this point, I'd have to live in a house. Like, once you live in a house, you can't go back to living in a fucking apartment and traipsing up and down the fucking stairs. And just living in New York, you have no car. You're just like this prisoner of the neighborhood, and you're just sitting there dying for new restaurants to open up. I just remember that. And then you got this little ass fucking kitchen, and you're watching, like, I used to watch Molto Mario, and I'm like, I'm going to buy one of those. I'm going to buy one of those. And then I had no place to put it. And all these pots and pans stacked up. I can't do it. New York City's for young people, you know? And if you don't believe me, look at the older people that live there and look at their postures and shit. Like, I don't know.
I love New York, but I couldn't go. I don't know that I'd want to live there again. Not in the city, at least.
Yeah, I feel like that part of my life is over.
Yeah, it was fun in my 20s.
Yeah, I rollerbladed on all those avenues. But if we ever went back, I'd get a house and I'd just drive into the city.
Yeah,
And bitch, moan, and complain about the fucking traffic.
Exactly.
I would do that.
Like, you live in the suburbs in Westchester or whatever. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. But I mean, you know, I kind of feel like I'm going to do this cartoon, and then I'm going to be ready to be like, all right, if this thing goes like, you know, 7-8 seasons, that's it. What else more? Well, what else more do you need to do? I went out to L.A. I got a TV show. We did it for 8 seasons. People liked it. I made people laugh.
Yeah.
And then what? I would do the Seinfeld.
Vegas.
Do the Seinfeld. Yeah, then I do my fucking...
Vegas.
my drum solo fucking comedy show.
Right.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. This is the podcast. Go fuck yourselves, and I will talk to you a little later in the week when I check in on you.